WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore.
Shut up!
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon here alongside Lucas Twitch DeSangro, and what can I say? Here we are a day after the Rumble. Okay, maybe not as great as the Royal Rumbles of the past there, that this music had involved itself with, but it's being touted as the greatest Royal Rumble.
A few records were broken, especially Daniel Bryan. Obviously, with 50 men, he entered at the number one spot, went about an hour and 16-something minutes, I believe.
Huh.
Went in at one point, I thought he was going to win it. He was like the final three, I think. Final three. As soon as Big Cass rolled out, though, I was like, oh, he's done. That's going to set up for their match at Backlash, which I'm excited for.
Which it did.
Yes, it did, indeed. I will say this, though. Even when it's unnecessary, Shane McMahon is going to go through a table.
Just because?
Just because. He hit Braun with a coast-to-coast, which took him out of the equation for a little bit. And then Kevin Owens is sitting in the corner. Shane's about to do it again. And Braun just grabs him in a chokeslam position and throws him onto one of the announce tables. And that's when I get up and I just go, this is just a joke in itself. It was great. But I just went, like, every time, there's at least one time he has to go through a table or do something.
Of course he does.
It was great.
So for those who missed it yesterday, it's been 24 hours. We can get through the whole spoiler alert thing, right?
Yes. It is not Infinity War. Thank God. Although it would be easier to watch, instead of getting up off my keister and going to a movie theater. You'd be able to watch it on a streaming platform. But yeah, 24 hours are up. And if you have the WWE app and have notifications,
you kind of got it anyway, whether you wanted it or not.
Yeah, I never understood that, but
whether you want to or not.
Yeah, 92 Bulldog. Right
92
there.
SummerSlam. Yep.
Well, you hear that, Vince? Sorry, Brett. I know
whether he wants to or not.
I know you said you had to retain, but that little kid, he's calling the shots now.
Yeah, exactly. So John Cena, he beat Triple H at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
It was a very fun match to start the show off.
Yeah, I think one of the reviews that I saw on it was a very 1978 house show type match.
Yeah, but
the crowd ate it up.
Yeah, and it was the perfect place to do that.
It was something different, and different can be good.
Old school's cool, as Roddy Piper used to say.
Exactly. And then a match that I think got added on later, at least after our predictions were put in. Cedric Alexander against Kalisto for the Cruiserweight title, Alexander retaining.
Yeah, his opponent wasn't quite announced yet, but they had it was advertised that there would be a Cruiserweight title match, so.
Okay, so it was Cedric against the Field, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Kalisto.
Yeah.
Very exciting match.
And then, we do have new Raw Tag Champions in the
Deleter of Worlds.
Yeah, the unlikely duo of Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
You love doing that so much.
Yes, I do. Especially because I think the Tourette's helps accelerate the stuttering in the yeah.
Great epiglottal work. Anyway, Jeff Hardy defeating Jinder Mahal to retain the U.S. title.
Wow.
No little sounder for that?
It was a good match. I mean, like, a lot of these matches were very well done. I was just looking at my prediction. I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, I actually got that one.
Yeah, early on in the pay-per-view, I was getting very frustrated, we'll put it that way. No, I'm not going to play the Brett drop, although I was thinking about it. Because, I mean, there wasn't injustice. It was just me being an idiot.
And me blindly picking certain things. I should have thought... I'm kicking myself in the foot over the ladder match because I said Joe because I said SmackDown needs a singles title, but to be fair, I hadn't seen that Jeff Hardy had gone to SmackDown. So...
yeah, pretty much as I saw the first few matches, my mindset was pretty much this. Oh, son of a... Yeah, that was how I was kind of toward the beginning there, because I whiffed on I had the bar instead of the deleter of worlds, as you'd put it. Well, yeah, there's a reason I tend to go with the bar, but that's a whole nother story.
I see what
that
you did there.
That took you a second there, didn't it? And I went with Jinder because, as I said, I'm an idiot. The tag titles of the SmackDown variety. The Bludgeon Brothers retained. We got that one right. And then things started to turn around for me, at least a little bit. Seth Rollins retaining the Intercontinental title in that ladder match against The Miz, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe. And this one I chalked up as a win because Styles retained, even though it was a double count out.
Oh, thank God.
Because that's the thing. I mean, how can you predict something like that? So at that point, I just kind of go to, all right, did they retain, yes or no?
Yes.
That's kind of...
No contest.
Indeed. And then the casket match.
Bury me softly, brother. As Rusev said.
Bury me softly with his song?
With his gong.
With his... Ah, very good. I like that.
Thank you.
That sounds...
That's a parody.
I was going to say, that smells right for parody. I'm going to have to jot that down. And then, knowing me, never end up doing it. But I'm going to at least jot it down this time, which is better than usual, because normally I forget about these things after the fact.
With his... Well, there's another thing that rhymes with gong that could also be described for the sounder, but, you know...
Yeah, but this wasn't Lita, and we're not talking a thong.
No.
No.
That's
no,
not what
people,
I meant at
no.
all.
A little Dick Dietrich reference in there. I know he writes down the thing and passes it to me.
I don't want to say it on the air.
I understand. I knew exactly where you were going with it. That was why I skirted around it by going with a different rhyming sound.
Yeah, I know. I stink. We don't need to note the time. We already have enough of those noted.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So there is that there. But yes, The Undertaker beating Rusev in the casket match. Brock Lesnar defeating Roman Reigns to retain the Universal Championship. Will we have another match between them down the road?
I am outraged. Well, not outraged, but frustrated. And it is the darn word for it.
Goodness.
It is the gosh darn word for it. It is. For multiple reasons.
Oh, it is the word for it. All right, so I don't need to pull up Brett then.
No, you do not.
Okay.
Because even if... So, like, he spears him out of the cage, but Reigns' feet... I'm not even saying this to be, like, going along with it, but his feet hit the ground first. So I don't understand the logic behind the... His back was out. It was on the cage. It wasn't on the actual floor. It's just... There's so many... Like, let's put it this way. Royal Rumble... Kofi stopped himself getting eliminated by a thing of pancakes.
Yeah, and even if you want to go with the concept of the cage, I mean, if it's a matter of what, going through the cage as opposed to... I mean, because we've seen that before going back to St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's unprecedented. It's just Sometimes the rules have to be bent
The
to fit. Yes, the rules, V1. Exactly. So, yeah, I can see how that may set a few people off. We'll put it that way.
Lol, Lesnar retains.
Which is interesting because I'm sure a lot of people were like, lol, Reigns wins. So there is that
Put the title
kinda...
on Reigns. It's...
Okay, color me surprised there, I suppose. No,
No, it's because just let him have his title run. Ugh. Just let him have it. I'm tired of the championship being on a divorced dad schedule. See you at SummerSlam, kid. But I got this baseball. I said I'll see you at SummerSlam. Okay.
There was a little bit of extra something behind that. It's not a little bit of art imitating life, is it?
Oh no.
Yeah. See you after football season. I'm gonna get heat for that.
I'll be your champion when the your champion when the Angels win the pennant.
Oh boy. But yes, so I see here as I'm looking, there's the Facebook feedback already going nuts here. So Joseph chiming in, and I know he was less than thrilled about this event to begin with, but he said that the greatest Royal Rumble was basically a glorified house show that went 5 hours. I guess all in all, it was a fun day of wrestling instead of the usual long evenings. And I was going to get into this. Well, I'll save that part of the comment from Joseph for after we get into the 50-man Royal Rumble itself, the biggest Royal Rumble.
It wasn't a glorified house show. It was fun. It wasn't like most events. But to say it was a glorified house show that's a bit unfair.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it both sides.
Like
here.
I can see it was scheduled. It's an overseas house shows are a lot different, especially in India and Saudi Arabia, where they don't do a UK tour more often than they would a tour over in Asia or the Middle East.
Yeah, those international tours are going to get a little bit extra something as opposed to a house show in, say, Corpus Christi, Texas.
Or Trenton.
Or Trenton, New Jersey. Sure, we'll keep it local.
Sorry, it was like, it's one of those things.
I was trying to kind of go with something a little bit more smaller scale, and I was trying to
Corpus Christi smaller scale than.
Well, it's smaller scale than Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Well,
it was the first one that came to my mind.
Fair enough. Probably because of that time it was an elimination chamber and the crowd was dead. They just scheduled a pay-per-view for that night.
Yeah, I do remember that. But yes, the 50-man Royal Rumble, a few surprises, a few call-ups, and ultimately it went to a surprise, at least to me, correct pick, in Braun Strowman.
Finally, he wins a Rumble.
However, that I think got overshadowed.
Who did I pick to win the Rumble?
Daniel Bryan.
I thought, for some reason, I wanted him to win, but I thought I refrained from that because there were just too many picks to like who could win this. There's no really story around it either. So it's like Rumble, the way Rumbles used to be. You have no clue.
Indeed. But yes, it was overshadowed, and Joseph noting on the Facebook fan page, he said, "Thank you, Titus, for the greatest Royal Rumble moment ever." And he doesn't mean that the greatest moment of this particular pay-per-view. He means the greatest moment in all of the Royal Rumbles.
It was fair. It's so gifable. There's so many captions to it.
In reference to Titus O'Neil, who entered at number 39, and I guess something was up with the ring mat not too far from where the ring was along the entranceway, and he tripped over that mat and landed face first and almost did kind of a slip and slide more than halfway under the ring, to the hilarity and delight of Corey Graves and Michael Cole.
And God bless him, Corey Graves keeps saying, "I'm trying to compose myself," but Cole just keeps going and going, and you just hear you hear Graves. He's like trying so hard. He needs to breathe. He's laughing so hard. And he at one point goes, "No, please, I need to compose myself." And Cole just keeps going, and it just magic. It was so great.
It was. It's definitely something. I'll have to see if we can get a clip up into the fan page for those who haven't seen it. Anyway,
Sorry, I was looking at the Facebook fan page as well.
Oh, you were looking to see what other fun hilarity things and whatnot were going on. Well, I was going to say, it's about that time that we take care of our first bit of business. The first segment just flew right on by here, but we'll get to Ed from Northeast Philly on the other side of the timeout. And also want to let you know that the place to get action figures, replica title belts, sports memorabilia, banners, and more is at George's Cards and Collectibles. Coming up on Saturday, June 16th from 1 to 3 p.m. A little something outside of the wrestling realm, but I know something big for, well, somebody of my youth. The 12-year-old me is excited for this. Former Phillies and Mets baseball star Lenny Dykstra.
Ooh,
that's right. Nails is going to
Dykstra.
appear at the Neshaminy Mall Cards and Collectibles show. He was the center fielder for that 93 Phillies team that went to the World Series. I remember it well. As I said, I was 12 at the time. George's has 3 locations for all of your cards and collectibles needs. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing, and their newest location in the Oxford Valley Mall on the 2nd level next to Charlotte Roos. For more information, go to georgescollectibles.com and follow George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. We'll be back with more news, notes, stuff, and a whole bunch of other things. Yeah, very descriptive, I know. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
There's a threat targeting America: Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, this dangerous disease can cause life-changing health problems and is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. So it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside and seeing a doctor if you experience the warning signs, which can include joint pain and flu-like symptoms. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org. Brought to you by the Stephen and Alexandra Cohen Foundation and this station.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside the Wind and the Whisper, Lucas DeSangro.
The wind in the whisper.
Well, that's the best way I can describe it based on the
What I showed you before we
what
came
you showed
back
me
from
right
break.
before we came back from break.
Swing and a miss, just a little outside from Hardy. Oh, but he bumps anyway from Mahal. Whew.
Yeah, the Whisper in the Wind not quite connecting, but Mahal somehow still, I guess, maybe getting grazed by it and knocked down. I'm not sure. It seems very akin to something where did I see that?
That's him swinging at a ball. Like, not a baseball. Obviously, you want to swing at a baseball, but, like, at a ball. He's 3-2, and that was obviously going to be a walk. And
It was just a bit outside, and he didn't even try to corner a miss.
He just swung anyway.
Gotcha. Wow. Well, I was going to say, I thought I saw... Where did I see that before? Was it down in Paulsboro, maybe?
Not the same move, but
Not the
something
same move,
quite
but something
similar.
quite similar?
And yeah, I know the feeling of missing completely. There was no camera angle to cover it up, though. That Jeff Hardy mule kick that he does, where he sort of spins, I tried to do that to Mike Burke, who he shouldn't have bumped, but I appreciate him doing it anyway, or selling it, because I completely missed. I whiffed.
Swung and missed.
Oh, that didn't even. Oh, like, ugh. That's right. You're getting the Patrice O'Neal. Ugh.
I was going to say, which sounds very similar to the Jim Norton ugh, so they're kind of hard to distinguish.
Fair enough. It's the ugh.
It's that whole group and conglomerate, I suppose.
Yes.
All right, well, one person who doesn't necessarily make things go ugh would be our correspondent on the local scene, none other than Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. You were talking about call-ups?
Yeah, we I know we kind of glossed over it here for the purpose of time, but...
Jericho, I heard, was in it.
Yeah, Jericho, he
50.
definitely put quite a few people on the list that day.
Yeah, very Mysterio and Collie.
Roderick Strong also made an appearance.
Oh.
Yeah, certainly a lot of... I mean, we even had the Hall of Famer Mark Henry make an appearance.
Those three are technically in the WWE now, under contract, like Jericho, Collie, and Ray Jr.
Yeah, Jericho. I mean, Jericho is officially part of the SmackDown brand. Rey Mysterio is a free agent, as was the Great Khali. So they were just back for one-offs here.
Because I thought he was part of Ring of Honor.
Well, I mean, free agents in terms of not being contracted with WWE.
Jericho.
Oh, Jericho?
Yeah, because he's doing that cruise.
It was something of honor. He's doing like a tournament on the cruise that he's doing.
At this point, Chris Jericho kind of has a...
Special contract.
Yeah, he has a special contract where he can kind of pick and choose what he does as he pleases.
Same with Ray, you know.
Well, Jericho's at least, I mean, he's listed as under the SmackDown brand, whereas Mysterio isn't. Like, he isn't listed as Raw or SmackDown, so he was just, it was kind of like how they brought in Hornswoggle. He's not.
He Samoan drops Kofi. That was great. I know, I popped. Honestly, that was so great. It wasn't just him kicking people in the shins. I liked it.
He's always great.
Oh, yeah. But I was thinking, why couldn't they have brought out Finlay? He works backstage. I just want to hear, my name is Finlay, and I love to fight. And I would go mental.
Oh. And I was going to say, if they were to do something like that, it might maybe be if they're in Ireland.
But in a Rumble as well, like, people love Finlay. Finlay is so great. It's just, I adore that man.
Yeah, but on the same token, dude's 60. Like, at what point, if you're WWE, do you kind of go risk versus reward? And yes, I know this is the same company that how many years ago had Mae Young at her advanced age going through a table. Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not having him wrestle a huge match, just like the pop of him coming out for a Rumble for a little bit. You know, I'm not asking him to go wire to wire. It would just be a nice surprise.
Well, the other thing, too, is it might also be that, I mean, we don't know what his injury situation is. Maybe it's something that he can't take a bump over the top rope.
Fair enough.
So, you know, if you know he can't do that, why put him in that position? So that's more so what I meant with that. I'm not saying that he couldn't get in there. It's more so, is there the physical capability to get out to be eliminated the proper way? And that we don't know.
Yeah.
Takara is at the Wrestle Factory today, this afternoon, with a 3 p.m. bell time in Northeast Philly.
Yeah, it's Chikara and Beyond Wrestling are doing Matt Riddle's going to be there as well.
Very nice.
Orange Cassidy, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, Tracy Williams, and I think LAX too.
Ooh.
Oh, Joey Janela and Penelope Ford.
Very nice.
And that's at 7 o'clock at the same building.
Oh, okay. So, guess a little different a little bit different from what I'm used to, but then again, I don't have much to be used to.
And ECWA at the Showboat in Atlantic City on May 19th.
May 19th. Look out, Kane.
May 19th.
They have the Boogeyman and Ty Street. They also have at the Homesburg Boys Club. They'll have in that show May 19th, New Moon Rising.
Yes, they had their return in April.
Homesburg Boys Club.
Yeah, I wanted to go out there, but had a family emergency to deal with, and I've been hearing it from the great Harry Barnett ever since. No, he.
Oh, me too. Don't worry, you're not the only one.
Well.
Also, May 19th, they have the Tommy Dreamer's show at the arena.
House of Hardcore.
House of Hardcore. HOH.
Yeah, a lot going on that day, and in a good 3 weeks from now.
And they'll have something in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, that's coming up. That's coming up 1 week from today. I was going to talk about that a little bit later here.
You going to be at the convention?
Well, I know I'm not going to be broadcasting from it. Yeah, the rest, I guess, is yet to be determined as far as what my availability will be.
And Matt Tremont's having a show for Brawl Wrestling at Churchill West High School.
What date's that going to be?
Tonight.
It's tonight, okay.
Yeah. Then you also have Wacky Wayne Wu, Shane Taylor, and Old Dog.
Quite a bit going on.
There's a convention, sort of a convention there's a Comic-Con convention in Oaks with Road Warrior Animal and Christian.
Huh.
Great American Comic-Con at the Expo Center in Oaks.
Is that the Great Philadelphia Comic-Con?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw something about that.
27th to the 29th.
So that would be this weekend. That started yesterday and it goes through tomorrow. And from what I see here, the Nasty Boys are over there.
Yes.
Yeah, as I'm looking
Kurt
here.
Angle was writing a book about 25 years of Raw.
Wouldn't surprise me. I know he's had a significant contribution to it.
He's having a book signing in Springfield, New Jersey, May 6th, starting at 11 a.m. at the Barnes & Noble.
That is good to know. Now you got me curiously taking a look here at the names that are being announced. I see that they had Ric Flair's up there for that Comic-Con as well. He's there both today and tomorrow, and was there yesterday. So he's there all weekend. Let's see, the Nasty Boys. I'm kind of skimming through. Oh, Val Kilmer. Let's see, Nell Campbell. Okay, that's a few good things. Darren Young is going to be over there. I'm just quickly skimming through here. Yep, there's Road Warrior Animal, Ian McElhenney, Kevin Sorbo. So a lot of different crossovers for a lot of different comic, wrestling, and otherwise things. So that's something to check out over in Oaks.
And like I mentioned, the convention up in Fairless Hills, or Pizzaville.
Yeah, no, nothing over here in Fairless Hills. That's for sure. Yeah, I'll talk more about that on the other side.
right.
I'll give the whole, because I do have a live read for that, so
All right.
we'll
That's
take
about
care of it then. All righty. Well, thank you for the look at the local scene as always, Ed. Greatly appreciate it, and we'll catch up to you next week for some Cinco de Mayo hijinks.
Yeah, I hope to be doing something live, something by phone.
Oh, that could certainly be fun. Oh, looking forward to it. Thanks for chiming in as always. Appreciate it.
Have a nice weekend.
Oh, yep, you do the same. Ed from Northeast Philly. Always a class act to talk to, that's for sure.
Indeed.
Well played, Funaki.
Pro Wrestling Weekly #1.
Arrive, grandstand, hot dog, leave.
I don't feel good about that one either.
Good job. All right. I think we're at about that. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's
time to talk about.
No, it's not birthdays. No.
No. I was going to say either. Broken Goblet.
It's only been doing this almost 5 years. He's starting to pick up on it.
Yay! Gold Star.
Only one gold star, though, not 5.
I only said one. I said gold star.
One star.
Negative 1 star.
Yes. I think I might have to jot that down, too. Okay. Anyway, change isn't the only thing that's exciting at the Broken Goblet Brewery at 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. First of all, it's the last Saturday of the month, which means the return of Kinky Quizzo.
Ooh.
Yeah, things getting exciting there. Plus a new wrinkle in the edibles department, as now the official on-site truck for every day except Saturdays. They're still working on a Saturday plan, so today it's kind of a BYOF type scenario. Or you can get something delivered, but none other on any of the other days at the Broken Goblet will be Jay's Steak and Hoagie Joint, based out of Parkland, PA, near Pendle, home of the pretzel roll cheesesteaks. And Lucas's eyes just went as wide as saucers. Yes, cheesesteaks in a pretzel roll.
I promised myself I'd try to eat cleaner.
Yeah. Well, I will get your mind off of that by saying, plus to wash them down, try some of the delicious variety of brews currently on tap, including the return of the Fall of Risengard, a rye IPA, the new 2018 version of Bubba's Tea Bag with Bohemian raspberry flavor. Also, there's the Yin Yang Oatmeal Stout and the Belgian Dark Strong Ale Très de Marque, among others. That one packs a punch, though, so be careful with that one. Just a few reasons why it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. And in this case, apparently eating responsibly in the case of
me.
Lucas. Yeah.
In the case of me.
Yeah, although, I was going to say, you probably wouldn't even, because it's cooked with beer, you probably wouldn't even have it their beer dip sandwich.
Why not?
Okay, I know you're following your boy and putting the X on the wrist there, and
it's not just that, but I mean
it's mostly that.
Half and half.
Half is still mostly.
No, it's half. 50% and 50% is even keel. 51 and 40.
I didn't say a majority. I just said most. There is a difference.
You win.
He's
this
giving
round.
the anger smirk at me.
Now I'm giving him the Luigi death stare.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm totally breaking kayfabe.
Something else might be broken during the commercial. There we go.
Yes.
All right, that was anything but delightful. Anyway, the hell was I talking about? See, you completely
You were talking
threw me
about
off
beer
track.
dipped sandwiches.
Yes, that's right, and other things that.
Beer dipped sandwiches.
Yes, that. Yes, that. They certainly are good. It's cooked with the Yin Yang Oatmeal Stout, and it's kind of it's a base that's put in there, and it's in with the cream cheese and the cheesesteak and the pretzel roll, and it's some good stuff. So, yeah, show some love to Jay's Steak and Hoagie Joint over in Parkland. And if you're at the Goblet any day but Saturday, then show them some love as well there. And I was going to say, apparently... Lucas
starting to hurt me, Fearon.
Lucas is clutching his stomach the way that Fred Sanford clutched his heart in Sanford and Son. This is the big one. Elizabeth, he's coming to join you, honey.
Just be strong, Lucas. Just be strong. It's okay.
Be strong, Lucas. All right, well, he's going to be strong, and we're going to try to not break anything during the timeout here. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Take advantage of the warm weather and visit the Bluebell Inn in Montgomery County to enjoy lunch or dinner on their outdoor patio. The restaurant's unique indoor-outdoor spaces are perfect for a quick bite while soaking up the sun and maybe even your favorite wine, beer, or cocktail. From classics like burgers and turkey clubs to lobster rolls and signature salads, there's always something special for everyone at the Bluebell Inn. To view hours, menus, or make your reservation, visit BluebellInn.com or call 215-646-2010. Teamwork is essential to winning games and in the business world. The Peruzzi Auto Group and Penco Tech have been working side by side for over 40 years, and now they're teammates. Penco Tech trains auto technicians and auto body techs, and Peruzzi has the full-time careers waiting for them. Train at Penco, work at Peruzzi. If you want a great career in the automotive field, call Penco Tech at 215-785-0111 or go to pencotech.edu. A great career at Peruzzi starts with training at Penco Tech. Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now's the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, April 28. On this date in 1987, WWF Saturday Night's main event was taped in South Bend, Indiana. In the featured match, the British Bulldogs defeated the Hart Foundation in a 2 out of 3 falls match by disqualification, challenging for the WWF Tag Team Championship. On this date in 1996, the WWF held its In Your House Good Friends, Better Enemies pay-per-view. In the main event, Shawn Michaels pinned Diesel in a no-holds-barred match to retain the WWF Championship. On this date in 2003, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Boston, Massachusetts. In the main event, Eric Bischoff pinned Trish Stratus in a no-disqualification match. On this date in 2008, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from East Rutherford, New Jersey. In the main event, Triple H fought Randy Orton to a no contest. This has been Today in Wrestling History, April 28. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry alongside Lucas Twitch DeSangro. I was wondering what you were... Okay, I thought you were marking, I don't know, voodoo drawing of me or something.
No.
So you were making a bunch of X's. I didn't know what it...
Just...
Marking off, I see calendar dates here. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Counting down the days until... No, I don't know.
Until the semester ends.
Ah.
Ramon.
Indeed.
Bring me a diploma. And something else.
Fair enough. Well, we talked about it a little bit on the before the break here. Coming up next Saturday, May 5th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Sportsplex in 1331 O'Reilly Drive in Feasterville, PA, is the Icons of Wrestling Convention and Fan Fest, where you'll get to see legends from the past, such as WWE Hall of Famers Jeff Jarrett, Jake the Snake Roberts, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and Tito Santana. And also set to appear Sean Waltman, a.k.a. X-Pac, as well as Ray Apollo showing up as Doink Bra.
Making kids
cry bra. Yes, Doink the Clown. Got to throw those OSW review references out there every once in a while. And then later that night, it is Battleground Championship Wrestling. Doors open at 7. Action starts at 8 o'clock. You'll see a battle of Hall of Famers as Nikolai Volkov, takes on Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Plus, you'll see appearances by ECW Originals The Sandman, Jake the Snake Roberts, Doink the Clown, Bull James, as well as some of the Battleground Championship Wrestling stars. Teddy Hart is set to return against a mystery opponent.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'll also see Joe Gacy against Xavier, as well as a triple threat match involving DJ Hyde against Corey Castle and Mayo.
Ooh, Corey Castle's going to be on the show.
Yeah. I did a double take here because it looks like they were, the spelling was off on the website. That's what kind of threw me for a loop. Castle with a C and Corey with an E, and yeah, definitely not Crip Spelling Bee material, but nonetheless, should be a fun time to say the least. And then in the main event, Dan Maff taking on Matt Tremont in a Four Corners of Pain match. Ouch. All this and more next Saturday, May 5th. It's for the Icons of Wrestling Convention and Fan Fest during the day and Battleground Championship Wrestling at night. More info at thecollectorfest.com and battlegroundcw.com. Lots of good stuff there. And an interesting note from the Today in Wrestling history that in your house, good friends, better enemies, which I feel like could be you and I in most cases each week here.
Fair enough.
Did you know that was Diesel or Kevin Nash's last televised WWF appearance before heading on over to WCW to start the NWO and all that craziness?
I did not.
Yeah, he worked some house shows after that, including a few weeks later the infamous Curtain Call in Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
But yeah, by late May he'd be long gone and heading on over to greener pastures, and by greener I mean money.
Money.
Yeah. Exactly. So let's get into some news and notes here. So MLW, I know we've talked a little bit about them as of late after the interview recently with Shane Strickland. They announced on Thursday that Tony Schiavone has signed a multi-year agreement with Major League Wrestling to remain the primary voice of the organization.
Ooh.
And I'm sure
that'll put some butts in the seats.
Yeah, and I'm sure that signing that agreement was the greatest night in the history of our sport. No? Okay.
No. Always a good time quoting Schiavone.
No, Schiavone is awesome.
He is.
Yeah.
He really is.
He will also continue to host his MLW podcast, What Happened When, along with Conrad Thompson, as well as continuing with his work with the Georgia Bulldogs radio network, as well as some stuff he does on an Atlanta sports radio station as well. So you can hear Tony Schiavone and his broadcast partner, Rich Boccini, each and every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on Major League Wrestling Fusion on beIN Sports. Some good stuff there. And, oh boy. Well, Zack Ryder had a bit of a health scare this week.
Oh boy.
Yeah, something you definitely don't want to see. He announced that he had suffered strains to his ACL, MCL, and calf. And that was during his WWE main event match against Mike Kanellis on Monday. Now, fortunately, no surgery will be needed, but he was initially frightened and knew that it was going to cause him to miss the greatest Royal Rumble event that occurred yesterday. The concern was that one or more of those ligaments were torn, so he flew to Orlando to get an MRI while the rest of the Raw crew flew to Saudi Arabia. So, quick recovery, thankfully, because no surgery is needed. Also, Triple H. He spoke with The Independent about, and this is something regarding the greatest Royal Rumble, there's been a little bit of, no pun intended, backlash toward. The fact that female performers were not being booked for yesterday's greatest Royal Rumble event. So he told The Independent, quote, "I understand that people are questioning it, but you have to understand that every culture is different, and just because you don't agree with a certain aspect of it, it doesn't mean it's not a relevant culture." He added, "You can't dictate to a country or a religion about how they handle things, but having said that, WWE is at the forefront of a women's evolution in the world, and what you can't do is affect change everywhere by staying away from it." While right now women are not competing in the event, we have had discussions about that, and we believe and hope that in the next few years they will be. That is a significant cultural shift in Saudi Arabia. The country is in the middle of a shift in how it is dealing with that. The position is changing and rights are changing, as are the way women are handled and treated in society. We think that's a great thing, and we're excited to be at the forefront of that change, end quote. Now, what wasn't mentioned is that another factor is that there's a number with a lot of zeros behind it that got them to go out to that Greatest Royal Rumble event in Saudi Arabia. Because, as we all know...
It's all about the money. It's all about the money.
Thank you, Vince.
I was not expecting that. I really was. I was not.
Well, I got to throw you a few curveballs here and
That
there.
was fantastic.
I figured you'd appreciate that. Also, finally, The Rock has come back to fatherhood.
Ooh.
Well, he never really left it, but he's coming back to it again. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson announcing the arrival of his daughter, Tiana Gia Johnson, on Monday via Instagram, his third daughter. He had a lot to say on the post, but he noted, quote, "Word to the wise gentleman. It's critical to be by your lady's head when she's delivering, being as supportive as you can, holding hands, holding legs, whatever you can do. But if you really want to understand the single most powerful and primal moment life will ever offer, watch your child being born. It's a life changer, and the respect and admiration you have for a woman will forever be boundless. Oh, and one more thing. You're going to love rolling in Daddy's pickup truck."
Him and that pickup truck.
Yeah, he loves that pickup truck. Hey, why not? Go get it. Anywho, TMZ. And we talk about them every once in a while. They caught up with good old JR, Jim Ross, and asked him about Ronda Rousey's match and Wrestlemania debut, and here's what he had to say.
So Ronda Rousey's match, what did you think about it?
I thought Ronda Rousey's debut was the most impressive thing I've seen in pro wrestling in my 40-year career.
Really?
Yeah.
Even more than like Mick Foley getting thrown off the Hell in a Cell?
That wasn't a debut.
Oh, that obviously wasn't a debut. I mean...
Best debut I ever saw.
Really?
Great hire. Smart move by WWE.
Okay,
the second best hire they've ever made. The second, me.
They need to hire you back, man. Do you expect a lot of women to follow in Ronda's footsteps? Like going from the UFC to the WWE?
Well, I don't know. Coming UFC, they're going to train. A lot more women are going to train for the opportunity to come to WWE. When you can go use your physique and your athleticism and your personality to make a lot of money, why not?
Yeah.
Why not go to WWE?
Yeah.
That's
it was an amazing debut. I mean, she beat the crap out of Stephanie and Triple H.
She's a huge star. She's a huge star, and great things have come from her, without a doubt.
Without a doubt, indeed. I figured it was easier to cut out as opposed to bleep. They used a different word instead of crap initially, so I was like, I could bleep it or I could just seamlessly edit it, so there was that.
Fair enough.
You had no idea it was in there until I said something.
Yeah, you're very good at that sort of stuff.
I most certainly am. So, other things to get into. Wow, time is just flying on by here. So, did you hear that Impact Wrestling unveiled new title belts?
Yes, I didn't hear, but I did see that they looked quite different from what they usually did.
Yeah, they have new Impact World, Knockouts, X Division, and Tag Team title belts, and that led up to this past Sunday's Redemption pay-per-view. And in that pay-per-view, because I was going to say,
were you expecting me to say I watched it?
I put about a 10% chance on it.
Fair enough.
But in that pay-per-view, Aerostar defeated Drago.
They're using a lot of Lucha Underground guys.
They are. Eli Drake and Scott Steiner defeated Santana and Ortiz of the Latin American Exchange to win the tag titles.
Yes! Steiner's the champion, baby! You got no chance! You're nothing to match the man with the largest arms in the world!
Oh, boy.
Twitch! Because I can't say the other one.
I'm well aware. Brian Cage defeated Desmond Xavier, DJZ, El Hijo de Fantasma, Taiji Ishimori, and Trevor Lee in a six-way match.
Ooh.
Also, Taya Valkyrie defeated Kira Hogan. Matt Sydal defeated Petey Williams to retain the X Division title.
Woo! It's another one of my boys!
Oh, boy.
He is in my boy stable.
And let's see, Dave Christ, Jake Christ, and Sammy Callahan of Ohio vs. Everything defeated Eddie Edwards, Moose, and Tommy Dreamer in a House of Hardcore match.
Ooh.
Allie defeated Sue Young to retain the Knockouts title, and we have a new Impact World Champion Pentagon Jr. defeating Austin Aries and Phoenix in a triple threat match.
Hell yeah.
And it was supposed to be Aries against Alberto El Patron, but
he had family issues and got
That's
fired.
one way of putting it, yeah. He was released from the company just over 2 weeks earlier. So that victory by Pentagon Jr. makes the matchup against Shane Strickland for the MLW Championship that much more intriguing for MLW Intimidation Games. It's being taped this Thursday night.
Has anything been announced yet?
Well, I mean, the MLW Championship's on the line, but I don't think there's anything more than that. It's just, all right, it's a champion versus champion type thing. So also on that card, you've got ACH against Ray Phoenix, MVP against Maxwell J. Friedman.
Sorry, I just dropped my phone looking at the Facebook fan page.
Oh, goodness.
That was MVP versus MJ. Oh, wow. And MJF is the current, newly crowned and now current CZW world champion.
Yeah, so there's... I see. John from Northeast Philly throwing a few things out there, including a cheap plug, and Tony Schiavone, who also did or does some barista work. Oh, that ain't right. I ain't going there. And he also doesn't feel that Ronda's debut was all that great.
Ramon! Mute this man till he gets a sense of wrestling.
Oh, goodness. You're just all Nortoned up today.
Well, to be fair, John and I sort of go back and forth with the Ramones on Facebook.
Fair enough. I tend to stay out of that. Jeff Cobb against Jake Hager. That's going to be his debut for MLW.
Who, Jeff Cobb or Jake?
Jake Hager.
Jack Swagger?
Jack Swagger, yeah. He's going to be accompanied by Colonel Rob Parker. Also, Brian Cage against Joey Janela. Tom Lawler against Fred Yehi. And Chelsea Green against... Yehi. Yehi to you, too. Chelsea Green
howdy-ho, kids.
against Santana Garrett. So that should be fun on on Thursday night for those coming up in Orlando there. Let's see. Anything else that I'm missing here? No, talked about that. Oh, gosh.
John from Northeast Philly just put agreed.
Agreed. Okay. Just no context, just agreed.
Yes.
Good job.
We know what it's about. They don't need to know. We know what he's talking about.
All right. X gets the square. Good job. Yeah, Ted's the only one who got that reference, I know. All right, we got like 2 minutes left. It's time for...
birthdays!
All right, thankfully 3 plus 2 Brucey bonuses. On this date in 1950, James Douglas Muir Leno was born. The comedian, former late-night talk show host, and one-time main eventer in a tag team match at WCW Road Wild in August of 98, teaming with Diamond Dallas Page against Hollywood Hogan and Eric Bischoff, better known as Jay Leno, turned 68 today.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the thing. On this date in
That happened.
It did. It happened. It existed. On this date in 1972, Joseph Bruce was born, the rapper and wrestler from ECW as well as the WWF, as well as his own promotion, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, better known as Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse, turns 46 today. And on this date in 1987, Drew Gulak was born. The former CZW heavyweight champion and current WWE Raw Cruiserweight turns 31 today. And a couple of Brucey bonuses, some things outside of the world of wrestling. Had to stretch a little bit for these. On this date in 1941, Anne Margaret Olson was born. The Emmy Award and 5-time Golden Globe Award-winning actress, singer, and dancer, best known for roles in Bye Bye Birdie, Viva Las Vegas, alongside Elvis Presley, Tommy, the Who's Tommy, Tommy
can
exactly. And Grumpy Old Men from the 90s. Better known simply as Anne Margaret, turns 77 today. And finally, on this date in 1966, John Patrick Daly was born. The 2-time golf major champion from the early 90s, winning the PGA title in 1991 and the British Open, simply known to most golfers as the Open Championship, in 1995. He turns 52 today. Yeah, John was kind of on the way out when I started watching when Tiger started his whole thing, but that is, I suppose, a whole nother story for another day because we're basically out of time. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you back next week with more stuff on a Cinco de Mayo edition. Yes, I'll make sure to leave the tequila at home. Play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock and all's well.
celebrating 60 years of broadcasting excellence. We're 1490 WBC.